Hey guys, today I'm going to take a look at my 25th anniversary G.I. Joe action figures. Pretty much the only ones we'll be showing today are the ones that are still in the package. I do have a significant amount of those. A lot of them are taken out at the time and stood up, played with, put into vehicles and posed and that type of thing. And those can be found in various boxes throughout my house, and I'm not going to go digging those out. But what I do want to do is just kind of document all of the remaining 25th anniversary figures that I have and that are still in the package. I believe for the carded figures, these basic carded figures, I have about 30 of those. On the vehicles, I have, I guess, probably 3 or 4 maybe. And then there's this guy here, which I only have one of, which was Hall of Fame Heroes. I think they probably made a bunch of those, and I'll show you the back of that a little bit later. It'll show the other figures in that series. But yeah, basically want to do that. I've been collecting G.I. Joes for many years. I've actually started collecting Joes with this guy here. The Adventure Team was the original Joes that I started with, and I'm still collecting to this day. I actually have orders in. I have the Sky Striker. And unfortunately, that didn't work out well for me, and it was sent back to Hasbro, and I'm praying that they keep their word and send another one of those to me. I have a separate video on that, which I'll post. But long story short, on that one, I've had issues with the landing gear, where even as I was putting the decals on, the landing gear would just collapse, and the figure would fall down, and it was just a little bit wonky. And I kind of sent them some videos and pictures of that, and they said, yeah, that's no good. Send that back, and they told me to send everything back. What I'm hoping they don't do is get everything back and then tell me, oh, we don't have anything. Here's $229. That would really annoy me, because end of the day, I would have kept it, if I had no choice, I would have kept it landing gear and all. So, yeah, so there was much anxiety when I actually sent that out. But, yeah, so I have that. I have the order in for the his tank, the HasLab his tank as well. I've been collecting the the classified series figures, and I have all of the pretty much all of them up to 50 something, 52. Have an order but I'm still collecting them. So the ones in the 50s, I don't even know if they hit 60 yet. I still need a few of those there. Probably have about 5 or 6 more that I need to collect that may be out. Just placed an order. If you haven't seen it yet, there's the warehouse sale on Hasbro Pulse. And if you're missing figures, take advantage of that. That's not a bad deal. That's a pretty good discount. I actually was able to get a couple of the figures that I was holding out on. Zorana and I think Dusty were the 2 of them that I didn't have yet that they had in stock on sale. So I ordered that. I also ordered the O-ring figures, the Troop Builder ones. I have the figures. I'll show you the other ones. That I have the carded figures for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. And, I was a little surprised. I don't know if you saw the latest version of the, that show that they do, Emily and the other dude there. But I was a little surprised that they didn't have any O-ring figures there. I was hoping they would have some O-ring figures and vehicles and things like that, which I think are cool to collect alongside the classified. But I wonder if they're backing off from that now. Which is kind of sad. It's possible maybe there's a bunch of them that they're not really selling and they're not moving and keeping them in stock there. So that could be an issue with that. That's always an issue, right? It all comes down to dollars and cents. But I think they could have done a better job with the packaging. I'll show you the packages. I think those are pretty much the worst for the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes. I don't think I've seen anything quite that bad for a package. It's not great. I mean, look, the graphics are fine. I'm just talking about the quality itself and how thin the package is. I'll show you that. But what I'm doing on this video, I'm basically going to just walk through my complete collection of 25th anniversary. Like I said, there's just a bunch of vehicles and about 30 figures, which I want to have. I want to document everything, all of my figures. Like I said, I have tons of G.I. Joe stuff going from the Adventure Team. And I was one of those kids that kept all of his figures. I have my helicopter. I still have the box for the helicopter. And talk about large vehicles. That's a pretty big one as well. I'll probably do a video on that at some point. And the ATV that they had, the Adventure Team, and the pygmy gorilla, the mummy, the most of them, if not all of them, all of those. And I could put videos out on that as well. But I haven't stopped collecting, and that you get to the point where you hit kind of a critical mass on figures where, fortunately, my wife is pretty cool, and I have all this stuff in my basement. Some of it's in my garage and in spare rooms in the basement, and it's, you know, like I said, I haven't stopped collecting for many, many years, and I'm getting to the point where I just don't have room for anything. So I'm probably going to have to unload some of this stuff, unfortunately. A lot of stuff in reality I don't even look at anymore or use. G.I. Joes I always use. Just to give you an idea of what I collect, and I'll probably be doing videos on. I collect Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe. Star Wars, I used to collect a lot more than I'm collecting now. Lately, the figures that are coming out are kind of boring to me, so I haven't been doing too much with Star Wars. Yeah, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe. Ninja Turtles, I really enjoy collecting those. I collect video games. I have amiibos. I have Legos. I probably have like 30, 40 Lego sets, which I haven't even put together yet. But like I said, doing this year after year, it's starting to take its toll, and I'm running out of room. So what I really want to do, with no further ado, is just document a lot of these 25th anniversary figures that I have here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of start with the vehicles and just walk through that, and then go through the figures themselves. Let's see what we have here. So the first one up will be the Night Spectre, which I got this at Target. So Target was having some exclusive figures at the 25th. So the 25th anniversary was in no, I'm sorry, not 19, but 2007. I believe it was 82 to 2007 was the 25th anniversary of those figures, and this is the smaller, right, the Real American Hero figures that it was. The actual G.I. Joe figures came out, I believe it was like this, not even this guy here, this guy's even later, but the military figures, I believe they started in 65, and around 2015 they came out with these 50th anniversary figures. I don't know if these were 50th, but maybe not, but those are some Target exclusives as well. But yeah, there's the Sky Striker and his tank that I have there. I'm debating, I've had it so long now, and I haven't put it together, and it's still in the box. Do I want to take it out? Do I want to leave it in the box? Once I take it out of the box, what I do with it, that's the problem here. I'm running out of room. I have pretty much a whole basement to set displays up and all kinds of things, and yeah, and I just, like I said, it's just getting to the point where you do this, and some of you newer collectors, it's something maybe to keep an eye on. It does get away from you. You start collecting things, and again, I haven't let up over the years. I've been collecting, G.I. Joe for a long time. So yeah, so this is the first figure that we're going to show you, the Night Spectre. And again, this came out in 2007, and yeah, so it's been how many years now? So about 15 years or so it's been out. So this is a pretty cool vehicle. Comes with Grand Slam as the figure, and these are the figures that came out, the longer type figures. They're not similar to the O-ring type figures that they have now. But these are similar to the 50th anniversary and the 25th anniversary. Those are the ones that they came out with. Here's a quick look at the bottom of the package, which has Grand Slam's card here, file card. So let's put that up there in case you guys want to read it. You could freeze and take a look at that. The next vehicle in that series was the Awe Striker with crankcase. And I'll just turn that around so you could see the whole side and back as well. And then I'll do the same thing as I did with the other figure, turn it on its side there so you could see the file card as well. But these are pretty cool. I don't know why I didn't take these out of the box. I think I probably picked them up and put them away somewhere and forgot I had them. So yeah, so these are pretty cool. And here's Crankcase's file card on the back. And I'll leave that up there a second so you guys could take a look and freeze that if you want and read that. And then the last vehicle in that series from Target is the Cobra Hiss with the Cobra Hiss driver. And this is the blue version. There's been several versions over the years. The black, I think, was the most popular version. And the blue version is the one that's in this box here. There's the orange version, which comes with the 50th anniversary. Now, they also had a 50th anniversary, which was, I think, 2015 or so, which, and that's the vehicle there that comes with the black Sky Striker and the orange Hiss tank. But this is the blue Hiss tank. There's orange, there's black, which I think is the, I'm not sure if that's the original, but definitely one of the more popular ones was the black version. I have this Hiss tank here, which is a completely different version of the Hiss tank as well. And yeah, I kind of like this. There's room in the side. You can pull this up and fit figures in there. Also, there's the cockpit, which fits figures as well. And that's the this figure here, the Baroness figure, is the reaction Baroness figure. And I kind of, when they first came out, I was like, I really don't want any part of these Super 7 reaction figures. I kind of backed away from them. Then I saw the Bat figure, which I could show you a little bit later, and the figure with who was it? Shipwreck. And when I saw those, I was kind of like, these look pretty cool. And look, I mean, obviously, just to take this out, there's not a whole lot you could do with this figure, right? I mean, it's 5 points of articulation, much like the early Star Wars figures. But I just think that the packaging, the figures, the sculpt on the figures themselves, the faces. Now, there hasn't been a Baroness that was, you know, decent looking, I don't think. I think the first one was the closest that they had to having it right, but all of the ones that they came out with in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I just don't know. There's just something odd about them and very strange. Of course, they're very limited to what you could do with this, right? With the 5 points of articulation. Oh, there was G.I. Joe, but they're all G.I. Joe, right? But this is really a very cool figure. This is the outfit from the original comic book and early versions. I'm not sure if in the series, maybe the first couple of episodes she might have wore blue. I'm not 100% sure. I should know because that's always on. I watch a lot of I'm probably one of the 146 people that throws that on at night and just watches from the Hasbro website some of the episodes that they have there. But yeah, this is really not, it's really a nice figure. I mean, I could show, I mean, I don't need to show you, but you could look at some of the other Baroness figures, and what you could do with them, I mean, obviously, there's not a ton of posability with these, but I mean, there's certain things you could do, and you could put them in vehicles, or you could have them in a certain position where they could kind of enhance your collection a little bit. So, I bit the bullet and started getting involved with those, and I'm probably like 20 figures in. You could get them pretty cheap if you look on Amazon. Target has Snake Eyes for like $8.99, and I think Lady J is probably $9 or something like that. So you could get them pretty cheap. I had got Destro for pretty cheap off Target as well. But let me get back to these 25th anniversary figures. Side of the box. Here's the back of the box with the specs. I don't know if they call those specs or not, but just the description of the vehicle and the Hiss driver, and then the other side of the box. And here's the file card on the Cobra driver. Now turning to the figures themselves. First one up is Sergeant Flash, and these are in no particular order. They're whatever order that they come out of the box in. And basically the way these cards are put together, they won't stand on their own, so I just have them on this little stand. And here's the cross cell in the back with all the different figures. Probably makes sense for me to freeze this when we get to that point. That might be the best thing to do, to go through this quickly so you're not waiting for this thing to turn around. Okay, here's a closer look at Sergeant Flasher's file card. I believe you could see it. Sorry for the glare. Next up is the Cobra Infantry Trooper. And here he is here. And some of these are interesting. They came with either a silver or a white background. You see this particular one, the back of the figure has silver. I don't know if there was, you know, anything special about them, but they did come both ways. Some people, I guess it's just something else to collect. If you're an avid collector, you try to get both. I just took what I was able to find. So the first one, if it was the silver background, if they were both of them, I probably grabbed, I can't remember my thinking at the time, but I probably grabbed the one with the silver if they were both available. And if only one was available, I would take whatever was available. But here's the Infantry Trooper. And here's his file card. And next up is Crocmaster. I really like this figure a lot. It's pretty cool. I like the O-ring version too. I have that as well. And the Croc that comes with it. I believe the name is Fiona or something like that. We also have the larger figure that came out from in G.I. Joe Classified series as well. But this is really a pretty cool figure. I like this one a lot. And here's the back of Crocmaster's card with his file card. I don't think it says anything about Fiona on here. I wonder when that name came up. I'm trying to remember. Was that, you know, if anybody knows the origin of that, was it in the comic, or was it in the 80s cartoon series? I just didn't. I wasn't aware of that name until the new figure came out. But here's some of the other figures that are out in that series as well. Here's Mutt and Junkyard, which is definitely a cool figure. The kind of interesting anecdote, the Super 7 reaction figures, they actually, I don't know if you guys saw the spoof PSAs on that they have out there. Some of them are a little off color, but there's one where Mutt is saying that he's a computer. You ought to watch it. It's pretty, I mean, it's not hilarious funny, it's just kind of funny. But so Super 7 went and made a figure, you know, based upon that that particular PSA, and the card says "I'm a computer," which was kind of strange. I never expected to see anything like that on a licensed product, because who even knows who creates these these spoofs, right? Who owns that IP? So it's kind of strange. It was kind of an odd thing to see, but very cool figure. I mean, I really like the cards on here, the graphics, the images on these cards. Look at Junkyard over there, and really cool. And you know, half of me would love to take all of these out and set them up and photograph them, but it's been so long now, that 2007, so 17, it's probably been 15 years these guys have been sitting in the packages, you know, in perfect condition. It seemed like a sin to bust them out and take them out now. So I guess I'll keep them in the package for now. And here's the back of the card again. Okay, I'm going to try to move these along a little bit quicker now. Here's Beachhead, again with the excellent image card art on Beachhead here, and the Beachhead figure itself. The sculpting is pretty cool. This was one of my favorite ones. I do have other figures that have come out of the box. The series that came just before this, they were a little bit, I don't know, I wasn't crazy about them. The ones that were first introduced, I guess 2002 or 2001, that when they first came back out again. I have like a ton of those, but when these came out, I think they were really a step in the right direction and a step up from what they were doing with those figures there. Again, here's another one of the silver ones. And just to speed this along a little bit, I'll turn the card around here. And here's Beachhead's file card. Next up, we got the Cobra Infantry Trooper, which is another silver package. Some of these packages are, they have an extra little something in there. This is a little jetpack that he could get around. And I think I have another one of these. They also came out with 2 packs that came with a comic book around this time. And I believe this was part of it. There was Tomax and Zaymot and a number of them. I think Ace and Wild Weasel or somebody else. I'm trying to remember what pairs they came with. But yeah, they really had a lot of figures coming out. I wish they would get back to that. Look, I like the larger figures, the classified figures. I have them all. I'm going to continue to get them all, but it's kind of nice. I mean, and also if they can make them a little bit cheaper, right? I think that's the problem. I mean, 40 something dollars, and then shipping and tax for 2 figures is kind of a lot for O-ring figures, I think, anyway. I mean, if they could hit like a $10, $11, $12 price point with these things, even that might seem a little high to some, right? But I think they would find a sweet spot there. They would sell a ton of these things, but who knows? Okay, here's the file card. Next up is Serpentor himself, and that was I don't know if you folks have seen the classified Serpentor figure. That's really awesome. I had him in his box for probably since I got it several months ago. I finally busted him out. I was bored the other night and took him out and put it together, and that's really an excellent vehicle. Yeah, that's really, they did a great job on that. The packaging is excellent. The figure, the vehicle, really cool. Card art's here, pretty good, pretty nice on this one as well. You can see Serpentor here. And that's one episode that's always on. If you go to Hasbro's website, I think it's either the Mass Device or Arise Serpentor Arise. There's no shortage of watching that, and the search for deoxyribonucleic acid of all of those famous people throughout history to put him together. But that's kind of a cool one. And here's his file card. I think most people know his story. Next up is Crimson Guard, and this is a cool figure. I have a ton. They had a promotion many years ago. I don't know if you guys remember or old enough to remember. There used to be what was called flag points on the back of cards, and you would cut those out and send them away for a giveaway. Somehow I wound up, you know, I had purchased a lot of, and those were like the original style O-ring figures and play sets and things like that. I wound up getting so many of those, and I wound up getting 8 of these Agent Faces figures, because my plan was to build, use them as troop builders, right? I mean, because you could, you know, there's the mask. You don't really know who it's Agent Faces. You could leave his helmet on. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I still have 4 of them that are still in the envelope. And weren't taken out, and 4 of them I have that are, you know, I've used and set up as troop builders as well. So yeah, so I wound up with 8 of those bad boys. And here's Crimson Guard's file card. Okay, next man up is Shipwreck. Here's his figure. Pretty cool. Does he come with the anchor? I don't think he comes with the anchor in this one. But comes with his gun. Although it shows him with the anchor in the picture. As a bonus, I know I mentioned earlier the Super 7 figures, and here's side by side the Super 7 figure. And look, I mean, that's cartoon accurate. Comes with all of the extras. Comes with the anchor. Comes with the parrot. Comes with his gun. And I do have the original. Unfortunately, I don't have it down here. It's upstairs, but I would show you that. Again, the original doesn't look. It probably looks more like the first one, rather. Look at the second one is kind of pretty gaunt. Yeah. Honestly, if if these Super 7 figures probably, you know, they have license where they can't, you know, make these to compete with the Hasbro figures, and they're kind of limited to what they could do with them, and that's probably the most they're going to get out of them. But if these were articulated in a way, yeah, you know, most people I think would be all over these. But they're very cool. I just wanted to show you since I mentioned the Super 7 reaction figures earlier. But back to my 25th anniversary collection. Here's the front of Shipwreck's card. And now the back. This file. Kind of interesting, you know, based upon the cartoon, Shipwreck gets a lot of airtime in the cartoons, and rightfully so. He's an interesting character with that Jack Nicholson Last Detail voice that he has there. But yeah, it's taken a long time. Hasbro just introduced his figure, which will be coming out, I guess, towards the summer in the Classified series. I'm kind of looking forward to that as well. But yeah, so this is pretty cool. I think we're about halfway through these. Thanks for hanging in there, if you are hanging in there. Here's Cobra Officer figure. And again, this is with the silver backing. Better look at the sculpt. Comes with his large machine gun. Yeah, the cards on here are just excellent, I think. I no complaints with the cards. And here's the back of his card with the title card. Let me pick up the pace a little bit because we've got quite a few to go through. Here's Flint. His file card. No, here's the front of his card, and that's file card. Not yet. Here's the figure himself. And the back of the card with the file card. Next up is Buzzer. One of the Dreadnoks. Here's his file card. I keep saying file card, but here's the image on the front of the card. And here's the back of the card with the file card. Next up is Iron Grenadier Destro. Very cool figure. The gold head, the cape, the ceremonial sword, and the pistol. This file card. And Cobra Commander. This is kind of an interesting one. I think I have the original O-ring version of this figure, which is pretty cool. Again, very cool card image. I think I'm missing the backpack and the little hose that goes into his mouth. Those two things are missing. I think they're missing probably on most people by now have lost little pieces like that. A lot of this stuff is easy enough to get off eBay if you need it. And here's his file card with the cross cell in the back. Wonder who those guys are. Here he is, Snow Job, another figure who just showed up, and his figure will be coming out this summer as well. I think it's one of the more deluxe figures because he comes with a lot of pieces. If you have a chance, check that out at Hasbro Pulse. It's a pretty cool figure. I can't help but think about Zach Galifianakis whenever I see Snow Job now, ever since I saw that video, video that they put together with the song. I don't, if you guys had a chance, look it up on YouTube, but it's yeah, it's definitely interesting take on the Joes and what they do in their private time. But here's the front of the card. Excellent image. And here's the file card. There's Red Ninja. And I'm going to move quickly through these now just to get them logged in here. I'll keep you guys updated too with the Air Striker and let you know how that turns out. Now, they said they received everything. I mailed it back to them. Supposedly what they're going to do is turn around and send me a new one. And he said I'll be getting a shipment notice as soon as it ships. And that was Friday. I haven't seen anything yet, but it might take a day or two to get that out. But like I said, I'm a little bit nervous. My fear of just putting that thing in the box and sending it back. That's what confused me. I originally thought they just wanted the vehicle itself back, but then it said send the product back, and I was confused by what that meant. So I called up for clarification, and they told me to take everything that I received and put it in the box and send it to them, and they would send me a whole new excuse me, a whole new box full of stuff, which, you know, includes all the stand, the missiles, the figures, all, you know, the wings that have to get clipped on there. So you need all that stuff. I was a little ticked off because I did spend a lot of time putting decals on. And this is Gung Ho in his card. It's a pretty cool figure. Nice backpack. The camo on there. This is really one of the better, I think, one of the better figures. Look at his expression, if you can. Comes with his pistol. Yeah, this is one that doesn't look strange. Like some of them, the heads look like they're stretched out or the bodies look weird. This particular one looks just about right. I don't know if it's because he's not wearing a shirt. It's just kind of strange. You would think the opposite, right? But yeah. And here's his file card from Louisiana. And then, of course, everybody's favorite Snake Eyes is up next. And here's his figure. I think they did a good job on Snake Eyes as well. We have a few Snake Eyes. Actually, I have to look for it. There was a DVD that came out? I forget if it was the movie or series that came with a blue Snake Eyes figure. And which is pretty cool. And I have that as well. I never took that out of the box either, so it's still in there. But I should find it. It kind of, I don't know, we're not really watching a whole lot of DVDs lately, so those got filed away and put away. Okay, and here's the Hall of Fame heroes that came out around the same time. And the Snake Eyes figures, you can see the details a little bit different on that. They highlighted the grenades and his belt and things like that. This particular one, yeah, so this is really cool. Now, can you see? You can't see the file card, but here's the cross-sell of the other figures that they had in this Hall of Fame Heroes set. And like I said, I didn't get them all. I just picked up Snake Eyes for this one. They were actually pretty expensive at the time, so I just grabbed the one. Okay, and here's the Baroness figure. And this one didn't come with the silver. This is, I guess, the basic figure as well. And here's the file. Here's the file. I'm gonna stop saying that. Here comes the front with the artwork, which I think is really cool, and the figure itself, which is pretty neat. But again, you know, like I said, I don't know if they really made a figure of the Baroness other than the classified, which is pretty cool. That really, you know, that I would say is an excellent figure. Just to show you, as I did with the shipwreck, here's the Super 7 reaction figure. And this is a different version than the one that I showed you before. But, I mean, look at the face. Look at the, you know, the suit, the paint job. You tell me. I mean, again, it's not articulated, but, you know, if it's going to live in the package, which one do you think looks better? I don't know. I think my money's on this guy here. Look at the face, the glasses that you could actually see through rather than just painted on. Again, I mean, this is articulated and you could do a lot more with it, but these definitely have a place in my collection. Let me just put it that way. I'm not going to say I'm going to buy every one of these figures, but I did buy a number. I bought the troopers. They had a number of troops. That a female trooper I picked up, and the bat figure, which I'll show you a little bit later, which is pretty cool. But so let me get moving. We have a lot to go through, but just wanted to highlight, like I did with Shipwreck, the difference between the Super 7 reaction figure and the 25th anniversary. Now they have another one that came out recently, about 2 years ago, but I think it's basically the same figure as this, right? I don't think there's any difference in this figure. So yeah, so that's basically that one there. And I'm going to move quickly because this video is lasting a bit too long. So I don't want to, if anybody's still with me, I don't want to put you to sleep. I'll just try to get through the rest of these. There's a few of them to go. Here's Flint. And this is the Tiger Force Flint with the tiger print on his shirt. And the back of the card. Here's Snake Eyes Arctic Trooper. Really cool card art again. There's Arctic coat on, backpack, sword. Really cool. They actually packed a lot of cool stuff in here. And the back of this card. And I don't have all of these. There's more of them that came out that I don't have. But I do have a number. Like I said, there's 30 something that I managed to collect at the time. Here's Roadblock. And again, this figure has an excellent picture. The silver background, which I don't know if that's a premium package or whatever. It was, like I mentioned, yeah, they all came out around the same time. I think they came out, and maybe the difference is some came out in 2007 and others came out in 2008. And now that I look at it, some of them have the 25th on there, and the other ones say as in the cartoon series. So that could be a difference as well. And here's the back of Roadblock's card from Biloxi, Mississippi. Next up is Duke, First Sergeant. And here he is on his card. Drawing's a little strange, right? Not bad, but pretty cool. His face looks a little weird to me anyway. Figure itself looks pretty cool. Comes a machine gun, pistol, backpack, figure stand. That's something that's missing too from a lot of these other figures. I don't know if it takes a lot to throw a figure stand in there, but it's definitely helpful if you're going to take it out of the box. You want something to, especially these type of figures, they're difficult to stand, and the figure stands on here are pretty cool. They actually have the name. Let's see, try to get a shot of it in there. This one says Python Officer. But yeah, that was kind of a nice feature of these 25th anniversary figures. But here's the card. And the figure himself. Back of the card. We're getting there. We're almost there. Okay, here's Major Blood. Here's another one I have the original figure of. I'll do a video one day of my original figures as well. That might be pretty cool. And so I have that. And back of the figure. It's got the UPC code. Not that you're going to find these in any stores. Is like I said, 15 years old, so they've been long gone. I guess one thing it is for if you do see a figure you like and you want to buy it on eBay or something, I think you can use the scan code to find them. So that might be helpful there. And here is Snake Eyes. This must have been an early figure because they only were showing 4 at the time. Here's Snake Eyes file card. And again, I guess there's the copyright date. I think it was 2007. Yeah, 2007. Firefly, another one. I always liked this figure. Didn't like Firefly in the second G.I. Joe movie. He was bad, really bad guy, but the figure's cool. Cool picture. All of his accessories he comes with. Pretty cool. Walkie-talkie gun. Machine gun backpack. Looks like there's a walkie-talkie on there. And some other cool stuff. Back of his card. Okay, here's the Lady J figure. With all her accessories that she comes with. Grenade launcher, pistol, backpack. Pretty cool. Believe it or not, in all these figures, I don't have Scarlet, but I do have the Scarlet figure. I must have gotten her in a 2-pack. Remember I mentioned earlier those 2-packs that they had that came with the comic? I know I have that figure. There's like 10 or 15 figures that I have that are out of the box, which I guess satisfied me for my out of package, which is why I didn't open these guys up. And here's her card. And Stalker. Here he is, Sergeant Stalker, his card. Again, one of the silver guys. This back of the card, you can see it's silver behind them. Excellent image on the front. All his cool stuff, his knife, his guns. Handgun, machine gun. Looks like he has a backpack on, belt. A place to put the guns. Beret, I don't know if that beret is removable. I don't think so. And here's his file card. Again, apologies for the glare. I'll try to move it to the point where you can read it. Hey, we're getting down to like the final 4 or 5. Zartan with color changing face. And who knows if it still does that after all these years. Master of the Skies. It's funny, he is the Master of the Skies, but watching the the animated series, it seems like the other guys do a pretty good job. Baroness is always in the skies. Lady J's always in the skies. They all are pretty much masters of the skies. He just has the name for it, I guess. But yeah, pretty cool. Here's the front. Nice image. Back of the card with his file card. The rest of the back of the card. Cobra Commander. Cool picture. He's got his pistol. Has his hood on. Here's his file card. Storm Shadow, another favorite. Again, really cool image. Or painting, actually. Drawing. His card. Final two. Here he is, Rock and Roll. That's cool. His big gun and bandolier. I think this helmet comes off. That's removable as well. And Rock and Roll is another figure that they just introduced. Looks really cool. Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job on this clay. I have to say that a little on the expensive side, $24, $25 each in the classified series. But I have to say they're doing a pretty good job. It seems like they've, like I said before, it seems like they might have backed away from the O-rings figures for now. I thought they would have introduced something at the latest video that they put out, but nothing on that. But yeah, this is Rock and Roll, and then here's the back, his file card. And here's what I think is the last figure, the Enemy. Destro, the basic Destro figure. Again, really cool card art. The figure himself with a number of guns. Got his little handgun there. It's got the little missiles on his gauntlet. And here's his file card. I think that's it. There might be, I thought I had a scuba diver. I forget which one, but this is probably it. What I want to do is just quick little bonus I want to show you here. I mentioned earlier the cards for the new figures, the new O-ring figures that came out. I mean, this is how they came out of the package, 42 bucks or whatever it was. And I mean, there's no border, you know, and the card itself is like, look at it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it looks, definitely does not look as good as the cards I just showed you here. Figure's cool. I have no complaints about the figures. I think the figures are excellent. The extra little accessories they come with, the guns, there's actually an extra bag of accessories that they come with. Here's the snake eyes here. I could do a separate video on that. And again, apologies for the long video. I think this was mostly for myself. I just wanted to document all of the figures that I have for the 25th anniversary, and then show it. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about these new file cards with all the different languages on there, as opposed to the Super 7, where they actually are reminiscent of the old file cards. You know, similar to these type of file cards, where they actually have the file name, the primary, and there's like a little biography on there. They pretty much got away with that, right? They just have the kind of some stats, and then that's it. But so that's it, guys. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate you sticking with this today, and have a lot more stuff to show, and appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Bye now.